Welcome to Outrage Science Bites, the short-form companion to Outrage Overload. I'm David Beckmeyer, and it's November, which means it's NaPodPoMo, National Podcast Post Month. And yep, we're back for year 3. 30 episodes in 30 days. Let's do this. This year, we're trying something new. I'm giving experts the mic to answer your questions, real questions from the public, about one big idea, bridging our divides. These questions came from the recent Bridging Movement Summit I attended, where I met with people from all walks of life and gathered questions. So let's start at the beginning. What even is bridging? Because when I first Googled the bridging movement, I got a bunch of videos on glute bridge exercises. Not quite what I was looking for. To start off, we'll hear first from Heidi Burgess of Beyond Intractability.
Bridging in a social sense is very much like bridging in the physical or engineering sense. It's reaching out across social, economic, and/or political divides to bring people together who are otherwise separate. Just as bridges allow us to cross over physical barriers, such as rivers or railroad tracks, social bridges allow us to cross over social, economic, or political barriers to help us better understand and even grow to respect and befriend people on the other side. Ideally, bridging should encourage what Guy Burgess and I call the great reframing, in which we come to realize that our political problems are not actually the other side, but the way we engage with the other side. Bridging allows us to see our commonalities and improve our ability to confront challenges in mutually constructive, not destructive ways.
Next, we'll hear from Karissa Raskin from Listen First, answering a related question. Can we define what we mean by divides? Are we mainly talking about partisanship, religion, populism versus liberalism, or all of the above?
So I can say, as the representative of Listen First Project, what we believe is that divides and bridge building really means bringing people together across any type of difference that creates a situation of animosity and seeing another as less than. So division isn't only about political affiliation or partisanship. It is about viewing somebody else who holds an opinion, a value, a perspective, a lived experience, a truth for themselves that feels so different and almost unacceptable to a person that it begins to create this construct of that other as someone to hate. Once that level of hatred and animosity comes into play, that's where the divide needs to be addressed. What we don't want to do is say that there should be no level of division. Division is good in some ways. Division means we have differences of opinion. Our country and pretty much all technology, all medical advances, anything that you can think of as progress had difference or division embedded in it. That's where innovation comes from. We are better for hearing other people out and their differences of ideas and grappling with that and finding a mechanism to advance in a collaborative way towards a greater solution. When the division becomes toxic, that's where I think we really need to be addressing. And so it happens all the time in religion. We see it, across. Unfortunately, we see it in kids' sports. Where the father and the coach or the referee get into an argument, and that's a toxic division. We see it as a generational gap at times where people aren't caring for their elders or vice versa, and feeling like, well, they're so much, they're so far beyond where our country is or our society is. Like, their opinions don't matter anymore. They're going to be out in a few years. We're just going to focus on what the youth need. I mean, any of those divisions that don't take into account the humanity and dignity that everybody deserves to thrive, that's where I would say the bridging movement is focused. In today's day, everything, it feels, has become highly politicized, and therefore it becomes almost inevitable in a lot of contexts that what we're looking at has a level of partisanship attached to it. But when you peel back those layers, it's so much deeper than that, because politics is something that we've self-constructed. It's not an innate human thing. So I hope that makes sense.
That's all for today's episode of Outrage Science Bites. Stay curious, and until next time, I'm David Beckmeyer. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy these Science Bites episodes, you may enjoy the long-form Outrage Overload podcast at outrageoverload.net.